I am Miranda, owner of Night and Day Canine Training. I'm a mom, dog lover, cat lover, just animals in general, outside enthusiast. Outside when I can be, but I'm here all the time.
So what is Night and Day Company about?
Night and Day is all about giving you results that you really need. We are very empathetic to the issues that you are having and that your dog is having. We are looking at everything from what the owner needs and what the dog needs. And our biggest goals is giving you results that are real and that will last.
What kind of training or specializations in specific areas do you do?
Anything pet training. So brand new puppies that need potty training or biting inhibition, all the way to teenage puppies that are jumping on the counter and not listening. But the biggest difference that we make is the anxiety or the aggression dogs.
What certifications or formal training do you have?
Certified, I went to Animal Behavior College right out of high school. I also have gone to many seminars, whether they certify or don't, throughout my career. I've gone to STS canine puppy training certifications and e-collar certifications. And as of recently, I went to a police canine conference in Vegas this year.
What behavior issues have you worked with the most?
I'd say the most would be just listening skills. Usually that's jumping or impulsive behavior, pulling on the leash, barking at other dogs. Those are the most common things that I see.
What strategies do you use to help the clients follow through with training at home?
A lot of it is going to be writing down homework and recapping at the end of the session. And we always offer the availability to text us if you have any questions.
How do you handle the situation where the owner's behavior is negatively affecting the dog training?
If the owner's behavior is affecting the dog training, it is our job to tell you. We are always professional and kind about it because we know it's a very sensitive subject. But if something needs to change for the better of the dog, we will let you know.
How long have you been working as a dog trainer?
Professionally, I got certified in 2015. Unprofessionally, I started training my senior year of high school with my foster dog.
When did your passion start for wanting to become a dog trainer?
When one of my best dogs got hit by a car and passed away, the next dog I got, I was very careful to work on boundary training and street training. Following into that, my next dog was a foster who had money donated to him to go to training. And I stepped into agility training, and I think it really sparked a passion for working with dogs. I just didn't know where it was going to take me yet.
What were some of your biggest struggles starting out?
Knowing how to train problems out of the dog. A lot of clients were struggling with jumping or leash pulling or barking at people, and in the very beginning, I only knew obedience, and I started diving deeper into behavior modification.
What are some of the goals you have in the next few years?
In the next few years, I'm hoping to be more involved in the community, helping shelter dogs, rescue dogs, and getting my name out there more and having more available to the community.
How do you handle pressure?
I think I do pretty well with pressure. I am a problem solver at heart, and I don't think I fold under pressure. I would say that I quickly find results and answers.
How do you involve owners in the training process?
During training, the biggest thing I'm going to do is explain what I want to work on, and it's me and the dog first to make sure that I have the right training method. Once the dog is showing good results, I'm going to bring the owner in and coach the owner through it and make sure that the owner and the dog are successful before they leave my session.
Describe your typical training process with a new client and their dog.
First thing I want to do is see the dog and see the owner. I want to see how well is the dog listening, or is the dog stressed in a new environment or with a new person. I'm gonna look for the general behavior. Is the dog comfortable, scared, confident, skittish? And that'll tell me a lot of how I need to train the dog. If I need to go slow, if I need to be very clear, or if I need to build confidence before I even do obedience. And with the owners, it's going to be a lot of how honest are you with me? Give me all the honesty so I can help you.
What training methods do you use most often and why?
I'd say we're balanced trainers, and that's mainly because we reward for the good and correct for the bad. We are very clear to the dogs on what is acceptable and what is not, especially with the behavior modification.
How do you handle a dog that is not responding to your training techniques?
If I'm not seeing something change in the way I want in the first 3 or 4 techniques, then it's going to tell me that I need to change what I'm doing.
What is your stance on tools like prong collars, e-collars, or clickers?
I love all 3, prong collars, e-collars, and clickers. My biggest thing is I don't want to rely on those by the end of training. If I need to use them to help the training get done, fine. but I want them off of it if possible.
How do you adapt your approach for dogs with trauma, anxiety, and past abuse?
Pretty broad idea. Most dogs that have been through some hard times are actually very sturdy. They've almost been hardened and they can handle a lot more. But for the dogs that are not showing that, then we're going to be very careful and slow in the very beginning, but we do have to push them eventually, especially if their stress threshold is so low. We have to broaden that stress threshold for them to be able to enjoy life.
Can you explain a training concept in simple terms for first-time dog owners?
A lot of it is going to be just explained. So we'll use simple terms that owners have heard before, but we'll explain it in ways that are very easy to understand, that you'll hear every day in a conversation.
How do you build trust with nervous or skeptical dog owners?
I'm just going to be upfront at the evaluation on what I'm wanting to do and making sure it's okay with you before we ever start. If there's ever any hesitation during training, then I'm always going to explain before I even touch the dog.
Tell me about the time that you were dealing with a highly aggressive or reactive dog, and what did you do?
I'm going to talk about Sloan in this one. So Sloan was a German Shepherd mix, and there was no controlling that dog, and he was the owner's first large dog. He was human, dog, reactive, barrier aggressive, food aggressive, everything. Pretty much this was his last resort. And it was a pretty dramatic drop off. He had gotten out of his harness. I had to use a training cot to get him and leash him up. It took about 2 hours to tire him out and get him to perceive me as not being a threat. By the end of that, he bonded strongly. That was a very strong bond. I got him to the point where he didn't have to love people, but he had to understand how to behave around them and dogs and everything else. It truly changed the owners' lives.
How do you approach training a dog that's fearful of humans or new environments?
For a fearful dog, I have to see what's underlying. So if there's an insecurity or confidence building that the dog needs, that's the first thing we're going to do. Everything we can do to get that dog to feel like a dog and be curious and explore. From there, it's going to be a lot easier. I just need to fix the problems.
What would you do if a dog showed signs of stress or fear during a session?
A dog showing signs of stress or fear can be normal. Stress can be normal. Fear is not, unless it is a fearful dog. The idea behind the training is there's going to be stress involved, because to get that dog growing and moving and progressing, there's going to be stress. But you don't want to overstress or overwhelm the dog, especially if it's going to make things harder. Keep an eye on the technique you're using. Watch the dog's body language. You always have to be involved, and change things up if you have to.
Have you ever stopped working with a dog or a client? If so, why?
Yes, I will never stop working with a dog because of the dog. I've stopped working with dogs and people because the owners do not do their homework or they're not honest with me. And if I can't help you, I don't want to take your money.